let's talk about purchasers. Now, this is where the work is for us, because where we come in the chain is the sourcing of purchasers. Either you want to be the purchaser or you want to represent Nigerian businesses who are in need of purchaser. As a matter of fact, a number of businesses that want to go into this space, many of them believe that their major challenge is finding buyers. Their major challenge is finding buyers. And that's where we come in, to be able to assist in finding buyers. Now look at this. If you look at this chart, there are different channels to source for buyers. Social media is an option, from Instagram to Facebook to LinkedIn to YouTube. These are social media platforms through which you can source for buyers. B2B trade portals. These are business-to-business trade portals that if you register on this platform, you will be able to get businesses who are looking for a particular product in a particular country, and you can decide to focus your energy on US or Canada in this case. For the Instagram, Facebook, and LinkedIn, it will involve promoting. It will involve promoting the product you're trying to sell and directing the promotion to you, to your phone or to your website, where you'll be able to engage those that are seeing that advert that showing interest. Another very interesting option is database companies. You know, you want to know who are those that are distributing a particular item in the US, you can get it from database company. In fact, you can get it from companies that are importing, the data of companies that are importing a particular item into the country. That means I can easily have access to businesses who currently import those products or who currently distribute those products. Then, of course, attending international trade fairs. And then partners abroad, overseas sales representative, overseas subsidiary company, and overseas sales branch. And I'll spend a lot of time on this. This is where we can really be of help and, of course, earn a lot of income rather, in doing this. And that involves overseas sales representative, overseas subsidiary company, and overseas sales branch. Now, let me differentiate them. Overseas sales representative. In this case, you are representing businesses. You can be representing 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 10 businesses. As their agent abroad, I will talk about your responsibility later on and what you can do, and of course, at a fee, typically a commission on the transaction. Overseas subsidiary. Overseas subsidiary means you actually have a branch in Nigeria. You're partnering with a business in Nigeria. So the business in Nigeria is not your business, but you are partnering with that business who is also registering. You're forming a joint venture with that business in the US or in Canada. Now, branch is a situation where you set up a branch. So you have a branch in Canada or in the US, and of course, you have the exporting company in Nigeria. Now, I'll spend time explaining the overseas sales agent. Look at what happened here. When you are overseas sales agent, you are representing an exporter in Nigeria. And you can be the consignee of their shipment. What does that mean? Meaning that when the shipment is done, documents are sent to you, you have control over who is able to clear their goods. And that makes it easier to also be able to ensure you are able to get payment, because now you'll be delivering that document to the company who has signed the agreement to take up the goods. They will be the one to clear, but you are going to give that document to them. Payment method. Now, one of the challenge of international trade, particularly for new businesses, SMEs, is the payment method. Sometimes they don't get a favorable payment method. What's payment method? It has to do with the way document is exchanged for money. It has to do with the way document is exchanged for money. What does that mean? Document exchange for money can be in a letter of credit form, or bill for collection, or advance payment, or open account. Now, the different payment method. Now, if I have a representative abroad, it doesn't matter the payment method, because ordinarily, if I do a cash against document or open account option, what that means is that I will do the shipment quite all right. But when I do that shipment, I run the risk of not getting paid, because in that kind of arrangement, the buyer did not give me a guarantee that payment will be made. Now, but this payment method that appear risky constitute 85% of the $21.5 trillion trade in the world. Trade volume in the world is $21.5 trillion. Out of this, 85% is done on open account, in which case the good is shipped by the exporter, document is sent by the exporter to the importer, importer clear the goods and pay afterwards. That exposes the exporter to the risk of not getting paid. With a sales representative abroad, it can mitigate that risk of not getting paid. And that's one of the things you can do. Service charge. Of course, the service is not for free. You can do this for 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 businesses, and you can charge them for your service. You can charge them for your service. Overseas representative. Having a service charge. Document handling. The fact that you're a representative means you will receive document on behalf of the exporter and deliver the document to the buyer in the US. Like I said, that gives you control and be able to ensure you have the right undertaking collected from the buyer before document is delivered, so that he's also obliged to pay as at when payment is due. Payment default risk. Overseas representative help to mitigate payment default risk because of the present. In fact, even if the buyer is unscrupulous and has a fraudulent intent, by sheer knowledge of knowing that this company have a representative at destination, he will be careful in trying to defraud the exporter, because he has a representative abroad. An environment where you can easily enforce the contract, it becomes easier to get such payment out. Marketing at destination. One of the major functions of you as a representative of the exporter from Nigeria is marketing, because that's actually what you are also earning commission for. You know, I work with a company in the US who will charge an annual fee and also charge commission. You will charge, and so for you to register, you pay a fee, an onboarding fee. And then for every shipment, they charge commission. Because they help in securing the buyer. More importantly, they don't just help in securing buyer, they also help in ensuring that payment is made. They even went further to the extent of not just helping that payment is made, also helping that securing funding to be able to pay the Nigerian exporter on time, while the US entity can pay afterwards. So these are different services that can be rendered to support business back at home, while you're also earning income in addition to whatever it is you currently do there. So marketing. So one of the jobs is to market. Because like I said earlier, that one of the major challenge the number of businesses faces is that they complain about the fact that they don't have. In fact, we have had to develop a pack for this, and the pack also will be of help to you, because to be able to implement some of those things I've talked about in terms of getting those buyers, even right there in the US. We have to come up with that pack. Why? Because so that they have a material, it has a manual and some video that do a demonstration for them on exactly how to find buyer. Why was that necessary? Because many always complain about the challenge of being unable to get buyers abroad. Growth potential. The fact that a representative is abroad means it can market and get 2, 3, 4, 5 buyers. Now, getting 2, 3, 4, 5 buyers for an exporter increase its growth potential. Why? Because now it can do much more than it used to do. Control of the market. The fact that you have a representative abroad also gives them control of knowing exactly what's happening in the market. I've mentioned debt recovery, which is one of the very important value that a representative abroad is bringing to the table. And of course, sometimes, particularly for commodities, you have a situation in which there is a second leg of inspection at destination. Whenever there's a need for the second leg of inspection at destination to happen, a rep abroad can help to coordinate this. Now, let me compare if you decide to do a representative, or you set up a subsidiary, or you have a branch. In terms of payment method, you can use any payment method. Of course, in terms of cost, the cost of having a subsidiary and a branch is more. Document can be sent to this representative and subsidiary or branch. Payment default risk is reduced. This representative become your marketer, help in growth potential. Of course, the cost of setting up a subsidiary or branch is high because of fixed asset, because of payment, of course, of salary and wages. It's easier to recover debt and, of course, manage inspection at destination. Now, as a representative, you can also help in setting up a warehouse where the goods come into. The warehouse where the goods come into. You can have an overseas sales branch, overseas subsidiary, I've talked about that. And of course, you can be a distributor. A distributor means you are buying and selling. That means you are carrying inventory. And if you are doing that, it's good you do that in your own brand name. That means the company in Nigeria can do white labeling for you. White labeling in the sense that they are able to produce for you blank and then package for you in your brand. So you can be a distributor, but of course you can also be an agent. Now, the manufacturer can go through you as an import merchant, that's the distributor, or as an import agent to reach the end users or the buyer at destination. Depending on the options available and what is convenient for you, you can decide to be, like I said, a representative, a branch, or set up a subsidiary.